everyone. It is your girl, Nicole Ryan with Lana Solutions, your finance advocate. And as you can see, I'm here alone today, so I'm doing solo, which can be awesome, right? So for those of you tuning in, this is Debt Diva, and I came up with that name because I do like to slay debt. So if that's you or a loved one, please tune in or share and let them know we talk about finances here and how to live debt-free and just financial services in general. So whether it's personal or business, we talk money. Yeah, money, one of those things that we try to steer away from a lot of times. With that being said, I'll tell you a little bit about myself because it's been a while since I've really told you who I am. I am born and raised Omaha, Nebraska. I come from the collections industry. So yeah, I was the debt collector and the debt manager and the AR analyst and tax professional and so much more. But the collections piece is what really drove me to start working with people in my own business now, which is called Lana Solutions. And what we do as finance advocates, we help people eliminate debt. So it's kind of like a debt relief company, but we do work with a lot of nonprofits. So with that being said, we have a ton of free resources and different folks we can connect you to. So a case for Lana Solutions is a case where they are knee deep in debt, or some debt has caught them by surprise due to like medical concerns or COVID. Anybody remember how hard that hit everyone financially? A lot of us are still trying to pull ourselves up out of that. Well, when stuff like that happens, who do you turn to? Especially if you're one that even normally hasn't had to deal with any type of debt issues. That being said, I would hear that in the collection industry day in and day out, and my debt collectors, listening to some of the calls behind the scenes and what North America was truly dealing with, it was shocking to me at the time, a young, early 20-year-old reaching out around the world, and it kind of felt like the entire world was in debt because we had so many large contracts and we called so many families, businesses, and individuals. Now, with that being said, that's just a little bit about why I got into this helping people eliminate debt, why you're watching this show, Debt Diva. I was looking at some of the stats today concerning the United States and our debt. So as of February 28th, 2025, you guys, the U.S. debt was 36 trillion. And this is actually debt to the penny. So as you can imagine, things are just continuing to go further and further in debt. So don't be surprised when it hits your home. And I'm not saying that's something I would want to happen to you, but I would rather you be prepared than to be hit with something like this and just have no ways of coming out of this. So I decided to get with KPAO and have this show. So if anything, we can give you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on steps you can take to either eliminate debt or completely avoid it altogether, which is hard to do because life is continuing to life, right? So with that being said, as groceries are getting higher and folks are dealing with inflation, and we got the LA fires, I want to say maybe North Carolina fires, and just all these disasters that are happening here, you guys, we really have to take a step back and take the time to look at our own money management. So I decided today to just 100% talk about debt, talk about the realness around debt and how important it is to just stop avoiding some of the behaviors that lead to being in debt. So number one, Anytime you are trying to get out of debt or you're trying to save money so you can start to invest money or grow money, and you just have, what do they say, more month than money, you really have to take a step back. And in today's world, you have to set up a date and time to even do your finances. So what does that look like? If the average person is working Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and they have the weekends off, you literally have to schedule time on a Saturday or maybe a Sunday or a Friday night. I would say 1 to 2 hours, because most of my meetings when I do the financial consultation with clients takes about 1 to 2 hours. Now, during this time, you want to sit down, you want to not only gather all your financial stuff, but you also want to kind of gather your thoughts, think about who should be in this meeting, because as a family, you guys, we have to start having family meetings around our finances. And we can have our main finance person, whether that's the husband or wife, that's fine. But we still have to start to have these meetings. I know some people that might have them annually, some people can have them monthly, quarterly, but it has to happen, because without a plan, you plan to fail. And that's another one I'm sure you probably heard before. So let's say we decide to carve out Saturday morning. And we're going to go ahead and work on our finances from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Which gives us a little bit of time just first of all to sit down, get what's called an expense tracker. And with this expense tracker, the only thing you're writing down is the income you're bringing in and the money you got going out, your expenses, right? And what you'll find out as you start to write down the expenses, you'll start kind of with your traditional expenses, rent, right? Utilities, cell phone, internet, and then you'll get to thinking of different things like your automobile payments, your automobile cost, your auto insurance, auto maintenance. You'll start thinking about subscriptions, whether it's newspapers or magazines, gym memberships. You'll start to think about some of the other things you have coming in, like maybe housekeeping or yard work or snow removal. A lot of times these are unconscious expenses that we're not even thinking about, because some of them are set up on auto pay. Some of them will do and forget all about it. Being able to have these meetings and take the time to sit down on a Saturday for 2 hours and kind of comb through what you really have coming in and what you have going out, it's like a living document. So what does that mean? This is a document that you can revisit monthly, bi-weekly, however you choose to, whatever works for you. In the beginning, you might start off a little stagnant and only want to look at it once a year or every 2 years. I recommend at least every 90 days. It's already March, you guys. It is already March. So that's enough said. We've already blown through January and February, and now here we are at March. And for you business owners, you know this is the last month of the first quarter. Where does the time go? So with the expense tracker and with businesses, this is your expenditure. This is when you sit down and you're looking at your net operating costs, and you too can do work. But I'll stay with personal for this segment. We'll deal with business on another segment. So you're going through your expenses, and what you'll realize with your expenses is we like to guess. We don't know exactly what's going out. So I'll ask a client, how much do you pay for rent? Most people know what they pay for rent, right? Oh, $2,200. So we'll look, and they'll look over their things, and they'll find out it's $2,285. No big deal, right? Wrong. There's an additional $85 that you're paying that you are unconsciously not even aware of. So as you're putting all your expenses down, right, and we start to add all that up, and then you realize you have maybe $4,000 coming in a month, but you have $5,000 going out because you forgot about your personal care, your hair, your nails, the boys' haircuts, the dog food, the cat food, or what have you. And then you realize you have a deficit. And then you're wondering why there's more month than money. It's because we have to take the time and manage it. If we don't manage our money and give our money an assignment, our money is going to do whatever sales and marketing, hello, I have a bachelor's in marketing, tells it to do. And in marketing, we study your habits. We're playing the right kind of music to get you to spend when you go into the department store. If you don't believe me, walk in Von Maur, listen to the Von Maur music, and then walk into like a finish line and listen to the music that they're playing. Go into a grocery store and look at all the candy at eye level for your kids to grab. So if they're studying the way we spend money, which means to throw out, how much more should we be studying how to manage our money and make our money grow? So you got your expense tracker, you've realized you're doing too much spending. So what do you do next? You sit there, you decide if you're going to earn more income, if able, or you cut costs, which is so easy to do if you really take the time to see what can be cut, or bump those costs up against national averages and contact the people you're doing business with, and you tell them what you are willing to pay. And if they are not able to meet that, then you need to find a different cell phone, right? Different auto insurance, different homeowners insurance, different whatever if you're able to. Now, if you're not able to, stop the Netflix or stop whatever. I'm not a penny pincher when I'm working with my clients. I want to make sure that we're realizing if you're doing things that you love to do, fine. But if you don't have enough income coming in to do them, you have to earn more income, or you're going to have to cut back and save and manage and not do some of those things as often as you do. So what does that mean? A lot of the coffee, a lot of the entertainment every weekend. Somehow we've gotten in our mind that we have to be entertained every single day of our life. And that's not so. I am around different people who own travel agencies, and most of the people that even go on vacations, they plan for it. So a lot of times we sit back and we're like, well, I can never go on vacation. I can never go do anything. I just can never take a break because I never have any money. And a lot of these people that are having these fabulous vacations, and I'm not saying there's not very wealthy, ultra rich folks as well that probably do vacation 5 times or more a year. But I'm saying to the average Joe, who in Nebraska, the average person only makes a little over $60,000 a year, we can go on vacation, but we have to manage our money, and we have to have a vacation budget. And we have to have a baby shower budget and a wedding budget and a 4th of July budget. And believe it or not, can you believe Easter's coming around again? And a holiday budget in general. You guys understand what I'm saying. Without setting these steps in order, any of my big Dave Ramsey followers know, your baby steps is just having a little cushion. He says 1,000. I say that's fine, but you got to have a cushion for emergencies, because life is happening and the holidays are not going anywhere, and our kids needing their college funds paid is not going anywhere. And I can go on and on with these expenses. So what we have to do as we are adulting, right? We got to pull back the reins, and we have to at least take a look at what we're spending. And know that spend truly means to just throw money away. So if anything from watching this show today, I'm hoping you all will do your expense trackers, your budget, whatever you want to call it, but just really sit down and type in write down, or even get a budget app, you guys. You can go to DaveRamseySolutions.com, and they have an app that's called Every Dollar Matters. And in that app, you can track all of your expenses. If I'm not mistaken, he has some other solutions in there if you're looking for life insurance, if you're looking for a realtor, if you're looking for anyone who's been vetted, financial planners, right? Financial advocates. And most of these people will meet with you for free. And that's the cool thing. You don't have to run out and even pay any money to have someone sit down, crunch your numbers, and then spit you out a report and do business with you. I'm sure most of them at a cost. But if you go to like Nebraska's Consumer Credit Counseling Services, all that stuff is nonprofit. If you go to places like, I want to say, I mean, I could go on, but I'm just trying to think like right off the bat, someone who helps with finances and they're a nonprofit. If you call 211, they will shoot you over to organizations that would be more than willing to help you. I know a lot of times they charge, I want to say $25 to $50 when they assist with the credit repair, but they only do that because I think that's the fee for pulling the credit report. But I assure you, if you go to like 211, or if you go to any of the, I don't know why Habitat for Humanity is popping up, but that one is popping up in my head for some reasons. But I know of Three Sisters, Chariots for Hope, Omaha 100, and this is more helping with getting you a home and business loans and stuff like that. But Family Housing Advisory, Empowerment Network, business owners, they do free summits and different seminars like all the time. So if you start to look up some of these organizations, One Community, they're going to start to connect you to other resources. Nebraska Business Development, again, for my small businesses, SBA. I can go on. And even just from the personal side of things, should you link up with Grow Nebraska, they have so much stuff, you guys, and this is just too much to name in one setting. So if anything, if you are on social media and you start to look at some of the names that I've given you, these people are going to connect you to other people who are going to connect you to other people who are going to like Lana Solutions, get on networks like KPAO, and tell you about all these amazing free resources that you have to get your money in order. I do not want to inundate you with a bunch of financial tools today, but I would like you to just at least have that family meeting, even if it's just you and your dog, okay? And sit down and take a look at what you have coming in, income, right? And what you got going out, which is your expenses. And then when you do the math, you're going to find out you either have a deficit, meaning you don't have enough money to keep living like this, or there's a surplus. And I hope there's a surplus. And if there is a surplus, you need to start saving and investing and sit down with a financial planner who will talk to you for free and get things worked out immediately, so your money can start growing and you can start having that nest that you need, because like I said, time is moving. It is March 2025. Can you believe it? And if you need help, you can reach out to me at lana.us. I would be more than happy to connect you with any type of nonprofit in our area and give you whatever I can. If you mention KPAO, I would definitely have a conversation with you for free. Okay? So I'm going to go back to this 36 trillion. Another thing about money, you guys, when you're dealing with debt, is there's a measure of fear that will try to paralyze you and stop you from doing anything. So if you see this show and you're watching this show, take the time to not let it overwhelm you, okay? Just tackle one item at a time. So as you're writing down that income and it feels like you're not making anything, just always remember there are people out here that don't even have a job, that wish they had a job so they could manage their money to pay for expenses. It could always be worse. So when you're writing down your income, be grateful for what you have, and then start working on those expenses. And as you're looking at those expenses, and if you need help with the expense tracker, you can practically Google or GPT chat anything. And if you don't know what that is, Google GPT chat. And then they will even make you a nice little expense tracker that you can print out and use, or even use it online if you have Excel, and start to put in the categories. And if you go to lana.us, we can send you a free expense tracker that we had on our website, and I'll make sure I get it back on there before the end of March or before mid-March. I'll work on getting that. That'll be on my to-do list, all right, to make sure I get that expense tracker on Lana, LAANA.us, so you can download it for free. So don't be afraid to write these numbers down. I realize some of you that will be watching this, I'm sure this will air before April 15th. It's tax time. There's been a lot of fear around taxes. I have people that come to me that haven't filed their taxes in years. As a licensed tax professional, the last thing I want to tell people is you're in trouble with the IRS. So without saying that, I let them know, don't ever ignore your taxes or any debt. Don't be afraid to call these people. Just tell them the truth. And when there is more month than money, we don't know what to say sometimes, and we do feel paralyzed, but don't do that. Don't let that be you. If you can't pay it, okay, that's one thing. To ignore it, that's a whole nother thing. You have to try to negotiate something, and even if that means zero, but at least you're being honest. And I found working in collections, the folks that would be honest to us, we would give them a break. But the ones that were hanging up on us, hiding from us, acting as if they were going to make a payment, but they really weren't, those were the ones we would shoot straight over to legal so that they could be sued, because they wouldn't even have a conversation. So if that's you, and you know you've been getting mail, you've been getting the phone calls, and you're afraid and you do not know what to do, the best thing you can do is answer it and speak to them and be honest. Whatever has happened, whatever has transpired, just be honest. You don't have to give us all the gory details, but you do have to say, hey, I don't have the money for this, but I'd be willing to try to work something out when I do. Right now, I'm trying to manage my money, and I'm trying to see exactly what's there and what I can do to try to turn this around so I don't have to file bankruptcy. But if you do end up having to file bankruptcy, do not be ashamed of that. You can go to Creighton University's law clinic, and when it's open for applicants, they will help you even file bankruptcy for free. And a lot of people don't know that. But when you're connected to the right resources, the reason I'm doing this show, you would know and understand that there are a lot more people out here in businesses that want to help you for free than you know. So yeah, that's Creighton University's Creighton Law is where they do the free bankruptcies. I believe they get the law students involved to help them work on bankruptcies. But then as a diamond or whatever for our community, it's absolutely free. And then there's so many other good reputable attorneys, if you are in a state of bankruptcy, I could refer you to as well, okay? So don't be afraid. Do something about it. Pick up the phone, open the mail, and if you don't do anything, manage your money, all right? At least find out what you got coming in and what you got going out. And then until next time, we'll talk more about this, okay? It's your girl, Nicole Ryan with Lana Solutions, your debt diva. Call, all right? I'm here if you need me. Bye.